Welcome out everybody here on Snow TV. We are in Ephraim, Utah today. I'm Jacob Bateman, joined by my colleague Ben Butler. As you can see from our camera shot, it's a cloudy, kind of a little bit of a chilly day here today, Ben. But looking forward to a good matchup between Snow College Badgers and the Air Force Prep JV football team.
Yes, indeed, Jacob. We're going to have a great game this afternoon. Both teams are desperate for a win this afternoon, as both teams are coming off of losses from last week's games, as the Badgers lost to Mesa Community College last week here at home, and as Air Force Prep last week lost to New Mexico Military. So both teams desperate for a win this afternoon, Jacob.
Yes, they are, and so we will see. Snow College, they were number one in the country last week, and Mesa came into town and respectively put them in their place. And so they definitely had that humbled loss, and so we'll see how they respond today and how Air Force, what they can do traveling over here from Colorado Springs, Colorado. They should be used to this sort of weather, so this weather shouldn't faze Air Force Academy. They will kick off first for the Falcons. We have number 18, Jared Porter from Redlands, California. Air Force won the toss and they declined, so they will receive the ball in the second half. Everybody getting set here for kickoff, and we are underway in Ephraim. A short kick only goes to about the 30-yard line, scooped up by the Badgers and out of bounds just past the 30. I think that was Damon Murray, a defensive back, with the reception. And so, first quarter is underway. It's 0-0. We'll see this Badger offense here for the first time, Ben. And the Badger offense seemed to have some struggles last week.
Yeah, Justin Miller and this Badger offense struggled to get points up on the board last week, only scoring 19 points last weekend. And after their first two games, they exploded the scoreboard in their first two games. But let's see if this Badger offense can get back to the scoring ways as they face this Falcons defense for the first time this afternoon.
So Justin Miller, the starting quarterback out of Highland, Utah, will hand it off to Labrador for that was Shaquille Deli with the rush, and he's wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, as you were mentioned earlier, Ben, they were having some struggles last week, and the previous week they did win, but they only won 14-10. So the past 2 weeks, it's been a bit more stagnant than the first 2 weeks. They were scoring in the 50s and 60s. Miller this time lines up in shotgun. Miller looks, finds a man. He's got some running room out to the 40, where he's chased out of bounds just past the 40. It was Alex Croyle. And that's good for a Badger first down.
Just a quick little 5-yard slant across the middle on that play for Miller to toss it over the middle, and he puts on the wheels right there, runs for the first down, not running the defensive back. Just a quick, easy 5-yard game for the first down.
Miller lines up under center this time. Another handoff. And only a gain of about yard and a half there for Shaquille Deli once again. So on the first two rushing plays, Air Force Academy looking to have maybe a pretty staunch front four, only allowing about a yard each on both rushes. So second down and 8 Here's Miller, back to pass, sees some pressure, now he's just gonna wrap it up and run. He's got some room, he's out to the 40, he's to the 30, he's got one man to beat, stiff arms, and he's down at the 10-yard line. Miller with the 40, 50-yard rush there, and that's something that we didn't see much of happen last week, and he is very slow to get up there, Ben.
Great heads-up awareness by Miller right there. He sees there's nothing downfield. The receivers are all covered. Great defense by Air Force Academy to cover all the slot receivers. Miller just decides to tuck it and go. You know, a great quarterback is when you see one who doesn't force a pass and realizes the defense is covered all his receivers, just decides to tuck it and go downfield. And a great pickup by Miller in this Badger offense, setting up 1st and 10 inside the red zone of the Falcons this afternoon. First time this afternoon.
Yes, it is. So good offensive drive here by the Badgers. What you like to see after the past couple of games. And it looks like we got a timeout called on the field.
Timeout on the field, Snow College.
Yep.
Their first charge timeout.
Snow College will take their first timeout of the game. We have 12 minutes, 36 seconds left to play here in the first quarter, and we will be back with see if the Badgers can score as they're in the red zone here in just a minute. So here we are, 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Von Miller lines up after center after the big rush, the big run that he had that brought him into the end zone. Deli in the backfield. Man motions, handoff to Deli, and he spins off a couple tacklers and gets a gain of about 4.
Shaq Kelly receives a handoff. Brought down by number 2, Barton Lester.
Bring up a 2nd down and 6 for the Badgers. So Ben, last week we saw the Badgers drive it but struggle to finish drives. So what are you looking for this week out of this offense, and what do you think is the key to success in being able to finish these sort of drives?
I like to see the Badger offense have a little bit more positive attitude this week, as the past two weeks and the 2 games, the offense has struggled to get into the end zone, and all it begins with positivity. You got to have a positive attitude, trust your offensive line, trust your quarterback to make some plays. And I was talking with some of the players before the game this afternoon, Jacob, and the past 2 weeks they've been kind of down in the dumps with a negativity attitude, and then all this week they've been talking about positive attitude and finishing drives, and so that's the key to the game for the Badgers this day, is have a positive attitude and be able to come out and believe that they can win.
Well, they're going to need it right here. It's a 3rd and 3. 4 yards to go till the end zone. Miller back to pass. He's going to try to tug it. His helmet is ripped off of him. So they're going to call a face mask as the flag flies, obviously, as the Air Force defender just reached that big paw of his out and ripped that right off of him. So refs are talking with one another here.
Personal foul, defense, number 7. Face mask. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Includes an automatic 1st down.
So they're going to call the penalty on Lakota Wills. The outside linebacker out of Washington. He receives the penalty. His personal foul, face mask, like we talked about earlier, and a fresh set of downs for the Badgers. Ball is pitched out and wrapped up. A great open field tackle by Parker Noren.
Number 9, Brian Waiters receives the pitch. Brought down by number 8, Parker Noren. Brings up 2nd and goal.
And now a 2nd down and 11. Well, if you're Air Force, you really want to hold them to a field goal here, as Snow comes in as the favorites. And you don't want to be digging yourself out of a hole. Billy back to pass, looking for his man, and broken up by the Falcons. Looking for the reception was Alex Croyle. But good defense there by Air Force to force another 3rd down here in the red zone.
That's just great heads-up awareness by the Falcons defense to get some pressure on Miller. Miller took a shot on that pass as he was letting it go. As you mentioned, Jacob, great defense on the cornerback and breaking up that pass, but Miller's going to remember that hit for the rest of this game as he got nailed.
So here we are, 3rd and 6. Whistles are blown, and a false start's going to be called.
Dead ball. False start. Offense.
That is not going to help your cause.
5 yards. Still 3rd.
So now it's 3rd and 11 from the 11-yard line. So 3rd and goal here. They need a touchdown, or else it's 4th down for the Badgers. Miller will line up in the shotgun. Looking for a man, and he finds one. Nope, ball is dropped. That was Arlonzo Simpson. The Badgers were looking to get the ball to, but they were not able to capitalize on that opportunity, and that will bring up 4th down, and it looks like the kicking team's coming in.
So just like we were talking earlier on this drive, Jacob, the keys to success for the Badgers this afternoon was finishing drives, and credit to the Falcons defense right there, standing their ground in their own red zone and holding the Badgers to a field goal.
And the kick is up, and this one is good. So the Badgers will go up 3-0. That was Austin Pulver with the kick, and that's really good to see for the Badgers, as we've seen Austin Pulver have some good kicks earlier in the year, but also have some kicks with a lot of inconsistency from Pulver. And so this get that first kick through the uprights early in the game, I think it's going to help out, especially the trust the coaches have in him as the game continues on if it stays close. And so now we'll see what Air Force's offense can work up of their own, as they will take the field for the first time here in just a few minutes. It's 9:56 left to go here in the first quarter. So Snow College putting together a drive, a little over 5 minutes, leading to those 3 points. So here we are in Ephraim, Utah. Maxfield. Jaron Maxfield will kick the ball. Air Force looking to take it out. Here comes the Falcons. Up the middle. He's got some running room. Oh, he could go. He's got one man to beat it. And he looks like he's beat him, but he's down to the 20, the 10, a stiff arm touchdown, Air Force. And that's a way to respond.
My, oh my, Jacob, that kid's got wheels. He just ran straight up the middle and outran everybody on that special teams.
That's number 16, correct? Am I right there, Ben?
I don't believe that was number 16, because number 16 on the
roster it's a quarterback, but I think that was number 16. So if that's their quarterback, they got a fast quarterback.
That's returning kickoffs.
That's returning kickoffs. I've never really heard of a quarterback returning kickoffs, but if he can return it like that, let him at it. And the extra point is good. So now that pushes the lead for Air Force 7-3. That was Jacob Henney on the return. We'll see if he takes the field when Air Force offense takes the field. And we're going to take a quick timeout here in Ephraim. We got a good one here. It's 7-3, 9:43 left to play here in the first quarter. And welcome back as Air Force is set to kick off for their second time today, up 7-3. So from my understanding, Ben, this is the JV squad for Air Force Academy. Meaning their varsity squad, which plays in the Mountain West Conference, is playing Utah State Aggies, so another Utah team. So both teams facing off against Utah squads here this afternoon. The kickoff from Jared Porter. Can Snow respond with their own? We'll see how they go. Here's fielded, looking for some hole that cuts up, and he does. That's flag flies on the play. That was Khalif Simone. The Detroit, Michigan native on the return.
Jacob Walker. Flag on the play.
And a holding's going to be called on the play. So that'll bring him back to the 15-yard line where this Badger offense will take the field for the second time today. Looking to try to get the lead back. Scored on their first drive, got the 3 points up on the board. We'll see if they can finish this drive. Miller was a huge part of that drive as he was able to rush for about 40 yards to bring him down the field. Now it's a little bubble screen and wrapped up for a gain of about a yard. I think that was Alonzo Simpson on this catch.
Brought down by Jordan Jackson.
Jordan Jackson from Air Force brought him down on the play, along with a plethora of other Falcons as they gang tackled him. So, 2nd and 9. Miller under center. Gives off to Deli. Deli looking for some running room, and he is stacked up. Might even lost a couple yards on the play.
Jacob, you got to credit this Falcons 4 front. They're doing a phenomenal job of just closing those A and B gaps right there in the Badger front 5. And he's doing a great job of stopping the run and pushing them back and forcing the Badgers into a passing situation on 3rd down and 11.
3rd and 11. Badgers needing to move the chains. Miller. Back to pass. Looking for a receiver. And it's picked off. Tipped. And he's still on his feet. Breaks the first defender. Oh, that looks like a face mask. And then finally he's taken down at the 30-yard line. Tack on 15 more yards. The Badgers have turned the ball over. And Air Force is pumped and ready to go here this afternoon.
Miller, knowing that he had to get the first down, standing in the pocket and forcing a bad pass over the middle to a covered receiver. The defender getting his hand on the passing play and tips it out. And then another Falcons player in the right spot at the right time and catching that ball. That was actually number 2, Barton Lester on the pick after the tip. Safety from Alabama and on the pick right there, and setting up 1st and 10 inside the red zone for the Falcons offense that we're going to see for the first time this afternoon.
So lining up. Here's Air Force under center is DJ Hammond. And we'll see as they just have a short field to work with. They run the option, give it off to the fullback, and he
is still pushing forward.
Wow. Reaping the benefits of keeping your legs moving right there. So what looked to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage turns to be a 4-yard gain. So
now it'll be interesting to see how this Falcons offense works this afternoon, Jacob, against this Badger defense. This Falcons offense put up 311 yards last week against New Mexico Military and that loss, but nonetheless they can move the ball, getting over 300 offensive yards last week.
So Hammond hands off again to the same player. I think that was Simeon Page. Number 38 on the 2 carries. So now it's 3rd down. 3rd and 4. Falcons looking to punch it in once again, already with the 7-3 lead. Hammond. Looks like some movement by the line. Was the offensive line drawn offside? Is that encroachment, or are they going to call a false start, Ben?
I guess we'll wait to see what the officials call.
Offsides. Defense. Number 45.
And that's unfortunate for the Badger defense because that's a 5-yard penalty, which results in a 1st down.
Yep, they did call the offsides on Snow College. So, as you said earlier, Ben, 1st down for the Falcons. Now it's 1st and goal from the 5.
Now, key matchup over on the far right side. You got Luke Miller, who's 6'4", one-on-one matchup on the far right end zone. Let's see if they take a shot to him, but they know, but they'll hand it off.
They hand it off to Lawrence Spicer, who looks to get a yard or 2 there on the run. 2nd and 3. 3 yards to the end zone. Now this Badger defense for most of the year has remained pretty staunch. Besides the second half of the last game against Mesa. Mesa kind of carved them up. But previous to that, they have played outstanding, and they're showing it again as the fullback is taken down immediately.
The ball carrier. Brought down by Joanne Lalua.
Brought down by Alani Lalua. He almost looked untouched coming into the backfield there. So another 3rd down for the Falcons. Hammond lines up under center again, running the triple option. Gives to the fullback. No, they fooled me. Handed the ball off, but he's mad at the line of scrimmage, and so it looks like the kicking team is going to have to come out on the field for the Falcons.
What did you think about that offensive series right there, Jacob? Running the ball 3 times with the triple option.
I don't think they passed once, did they? Well, you know, that's Air Force. It looks like we're going to see the same sort of offense from this JV squad that their varsity team runs as well.
I'm quite surprised on that offensive series right there, Jacob, that the Falcons didn't take a shot to their receiver. Number 11, Luke Miller, who's 6'4", has a complete height advantage against these DBs of the Badger offense. Taking a shot to the end zone and letting him go up and make a play, but they ran it 3 times, and now they're forced into a field goal situation.
Yeah, and a false start's going to move the ball back 5 more yards, which isn't terrible for all kickers in this situation, as they were down at about the 3, which can be a tough angle for the kicker. So this kick is up, and it is good as well. Through the uprights, that is number 18 for the Falcons, Jared Porter, extending this to a touchdown lead. So 3-10 here in Ephraim, Utah. We will take a quick break here. We got 4:57 left to play here in the first quarter, and a good one. So here we are as the Falcons and Jared Porter, who just kicked the ball through the uprights, will now kick the ball for Air Force. And a little bit of miscommunication there between the two backs as Campbell and the other man out there, I think that was Khalif Simone, were both signaling, hey, you got it, and then nobody ended up catching it. But either way, it rolls through the end zone, out through the back of it, and the Badgers will now have the ball at the 25-yard line. So, after the interception by Miller ended their last possession, he's going to come out throwing again, looking deep. He's got a man, and it is caught out to the 45-yard line where he is pushed out of bounds. That's Alex Coyel with the reception. That's good to see for the Badgers. After Miller threw that interception, they come out slinging once again, and they get the big completion.
Dan Finn, offensive coordinator for the Badgers offense, is doing a great job of just mixing up play action and run. And these first few drives in this first quarter for the Badger offense, keeping his Falcons defense on the heels a little bit.
Miller under center. Now he hands off. And a gain of about a yard or two is Brian Waiters, the Palomado, Florida native.
45, Ben Bollinger.
And it's kind of interesting note here for you, Ben. The visitor stands are more full than I've ever seen them here. So a lot of supporters coming out for Air Force's Academy team. It could be they might have some players from Utah here. Miller hit as he throws, and that ball's going nowhere as he's whacked to the ground once again. It looked like number 96 for Air Force, Joey Woodring, busting up the middle, the nose guard, and disrupting that play. So 3rd and 8. Just like that, the Badgers needing another conversion, looking to tie this game down 3-10. Miller finds a man, and he's got him, and he's got some room to run. The first down and more. Khalif Simone with the catch and the reception. He caught that a couple yards shy of the first down, but able to shake the first man with his speed and pick up the Badger first down.
That's just unfortunate event for the Falcons defense for number 45, Ben Bollinger, as he could have had the tackle, Jacob, but he ran into the referee across the middle.
Oh, is that what happened? I saw him stumbling, but I didn't quite catch what caused him to stumble. So fortunate for the Badgers, unfortunate for the Falcons. Miller going deep. He's got Jones. Jones diving for the ball, but just a little too far for him. Brandon Jones, the tight end, running that route deep. And the Badgers down on the field after that play. So the officials call a timeout. That's Kane Boyer, the offensive lineman, 6'2" sophomore out of Roy, down on the field, struggling to, tried to make his way to the sideline, but just rolled back down on the ground. So in obvious pain there. And so the officials call a timeout, and while Kane is 10-2, we're going to take a timeout as well. 3:30 left to go in the first quarter. So Boyer walks off the field under his own strength, so that's great to see. And the Badgers take the field here on 2nd down and 10. Miller handing off. There's some more room to run. That's number 9, Waiters again. And Air Force is plugging everything up in the middle, but Waiters with his speed is able to bounce it out to the outside, and that's going to be good for a first down.
Ryan Waiters, the ball carrier. Put that out by number 23, Corey Johnson. That's another Snow College.
Clock ticking down to 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Miller, the screen pass. Oh, and he's going to pass it. And tipped. Still almost caught by the Badgers. On the pass was, I think that was Ruben St. Jean throwing it, and trying on the receiving end was Chandler Frischnick. Looking to pull it down, but that was an interesting play from Ruben St. Jean. He like faked the rush, then he backed off, and then he faked it again, and then he finally decided to pass it.
You just gotta love the hustle by the Falcons D, and not fooled in that play, getting the hand up to deflect that pass and forcing the Badgers to stay on the field offensively.
And so they hand the ball off to Waiters on that run, but he is wrapped up 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and so a 3rd down and 13. I know the coaches here for Snow College really want to see a drive finished off for a touchdown. A tie would be huge. Another field goal might be a small victory for this Falcons defense. Miller. And he is wrapped up, throws the ball as he's going to the ground, and the flag is thrown. They're going to be calling intentional grounding here. He was not outside the tackle box, and that, no.
Intentional grounding was called. The Snow had a receiver in the area.
Oh, okay, so the refs are saying no intentional grounding. There was a receiver in the area. So is the kicking team's coming on. This is going to be a good field goal for Austin Pulver. How long of a field goal do you think this is, Ben?
This is approximately, I would say, a little over 35 yards, maybe 40. If I was the Falcons special teams out here, I'd play for the fake. I'd put the pressure on the kicker and force him to make a play or make this long field goal.
They're only lining up like 5 yards behind the center, and that field goal is going to be off to the left and a little bit short, so no good. The score is going to remain at 3-10 here in Ephraim. And so we'll see the Falcons offense for the second time today. We saw them earlier. They only drove the ball down about 10 yards. They had the ball at about the 20 to start off, so and got the field goal out of it. What do you think the Falcons need to do differently this time to sustain a longer drive, Ben?
Well, obviously the Falcons are a run first, pass second kind of offense. They're trying to establish the run game to open up that pass game, but they've got to pass the field. They got to pass the ball down the field to move the ball, as obviously the Badgers are stacking the box defensively and are ready for this triple option this afternoon. But you can't blame the Falcons. They are an offensive team that runs the ball. They're trying to get the ground game going, but they might have to open up the pass package a little bit more on this drive.
And we saw them line up. Hammond lined up under center every play in the last drive. We saw him line up in shotgun there on the last play, but there they are back again under center. Running the option. Hammond, oh, and Snow just blows that one up. In on the play is number 36, Connor Taylor. Taking him down, and so this is not what you want if you're the Falcons. If you're running that triple option offense, you want a 3rd and short, not a 3rd and 17. They might have to throw the ball a little bit, as you mentioned earlier, Ben. So Snow's defense remaining staunch. Hammond looks to pass for the first time this afternoon. Oh, and Snow's line just blows him up, and he's just got to throw the ball away. That play never had a shot.
DJ Hammond throws it away. Brings up 4th and 17.
So the punting team's going to have to take the field for the Falcons. This is the first punt of the afternoon for Air Force. 42 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Jared Porter on the field to punt the ball. Jance Arbin set to return.
Jance Arbin back to receive.
Porter kicks the ball. Arbin fields it. He's got a little bit of room to run. Falcons close quickly on him, and he gets about 4 or 5 yards just across the 50. So the Badgers will be starting at the Falcons' 48-yard line. Good field position for Snow. 33 seconds left here in the first quarter. Miller in the shotgun. It looks like Shaq Deli's going to line up next to him to his left side. 2 wideouts on each side. And the ball is dropped by Simpson. Miller threw it low, but it was catchable.
And those ground balls are always difficult to catch as a receiver, but as a quarterback with a man that wide open in that space against the corner, Miller's got to hit his target in the chest in stride so he can gain a little over 5 yards in that play. Just a poor throw by Miller on that play.
So here Miller lines up shotgun again. Flag flies. He might have a free play. Looking deep, and it is caught by Ruben St. Jean. There's a penalty on the play. The refs are going to come together and talk about something. What do you think the penalty call was? Could that have been illegal formation?
I didn't see any encroachment by the defense.
All the players will.
2 penalties during the play. Illegal formation, offense, 5 men in the backfield. Offsides, defense, number 33. Those penalties will offset. Replay second down.
So the call was an illegal formation on Snow College, but there was also an offsides on Air Force. And so the penalties offset each other. That play never happened. We will redo second down.
Now, Jacob, we've seen a lot of times with this Badger offense getting called for that illegal formation with too many men in the backfield.
And Miller throws to Simpson. He thought Simpson was going to turn back around, which Simpson would have been open, but Simpson was looking to block. So it looked like Simpson thought it was a run play.
It just seems like one of those video game glitches when you press circle to pass to your receiver and the game just glitches and just goes out of bounds.
Well, can't blame the guy too much. Everybody makes a mistake once in a while. So
Yes.
whoever's it was, though, we don't know if it was quarterback or receiver. Either way, it didn't work out for Snow. Now they got a 3rd and 10. Miller feels the rush coming. He releases the ball, and it is caught! Brought in by Alex Croyel for the reception, and that's going to move the chains for Snow College.
Just a perfect strike by Miller on that pass. Floating it out towards the sideline. Only the spot where his receiver could get the ball, and great hand-eye coordination and feet coordination as well to tiptoe the sideline and get both feet down as he did. NFL standards, he got both feet in, and just great eye, hand, and feet coordination to bring that ball in and setting up a 1st and 10 for the Badger offense as we move into the second quarter.
Yes, it is. So that's going to do us for up here for the first quarter. Snow College 3, Air Force 10. We had an exciting one. We saw a kickoff return for a touchdown. We saw some deep pass plays, some long run plays, some interceptions. So there's no telling what the second quarter will have for us, but we'll be back here in just a couple minutes to bring that to you right here on Snow TV. So welcome back here on Snow TV. I'm Jacob Bateman along with Ben Butler, bringing you the Badgers and Falcons as Miller does a play fake, and he finds Ruben St. Jean, who reaches for the end zone. Touchdown, Snow College! Miller finds a open St. Jean, who then puts the effort out, stiff-arming the defender and reaching out for the touchdown. So a great hustle play from St. Jean here to start off the second quarter. And a good sign for this Snow College Badger offense, able to finish the drive, and the extra point is up by Pulver. And that is good. So we are now all tied up here at Badger Stadium. It's 10-10, 14:52 left to play till halftime.
Well, that's just a great start for the Badger offense starting out the second quarter. As we were talking in the first quarter, Jacob, as this Badger offense has failed to convert inside the red zone so far this afternoon and last week against Mesa Community College. They've struggled to get touchdowns and have to settle for field goals. And in the first quarter, we saw the same thing as last week's Badger offense. They missed a field goal, they got a field goal, and what a great way to start off the second quarter with a touchdown. But you got to remember what happened last time when this Badger team kicked off to the Falcons. They took it to the house for a touchdown.
Maxfield will kick off for the Badgers. They give it to the man who took it to the house last time. That's Henny. Henny looking for some room, and this time the Badgers wrap him up before the 20. He's going to be down at the 19-yard line, so no touchdown for Henny on this one.
Jacob Henny on the return.
Jacob Henny, the quarterback who receives. You know, I'd like to see Henny play quarterback in this triple option, Ben. With that speed that he has.
Well, they do have 3 quarterbacks listed on their roster, so maybe they just put all 3 of them in at the same time, see what they can stir up.
But for now, we got DJ Hammond out of McDonough, Georgia. McDonough, Georgia, correction.
DJ Hammond pass intended for number 11, Luke Miller.
Hammond looks for Miller there on that first play and over his head. Now Hammond lines up under center. Looks like he calls an audible here. Gives off to the fullback, Spencer Katsutona. And we got a 3rd down and 9, so once again Air Force's offense not looking too good, but I think it might be because Stowe College is stacking the box and just not allowing anything to happen with the run. So saying if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us with your arm. Hammond all alone, looking back. He's got an open man and he finds him. First down as Corey Lane came streaking down the field, able to break free of his man and reel in that pass.
That's just an excellent wheel route by Corey Lane right there, just coming out of the backfield as a slot receiver. Streaking down the sideline, a perfectly placed ball by Hammond on that as he hit him in the stride. And maybe the Falcons do have a pass game, Jacob, and we just haven't been seeing it this first half.
I say, if Hammond can throw like that, they need to be throwing the ball a little more, but we'll see, because that was a perfect ball. Now that one is a little over the head of his man. Luke Miller was the receiver he was looking for. Second down and 10 for the Falcons. Corey Lane gets the handoff. He's got some running room, and he's going to go for 9 yards as he makes his way. Excuse me, that was Luke Miller.
Now I really like that play called by the Falcons offense there right there, Jacob. They've been trying to run the ball up the middle this entire first half, and it's been going nowhere. But you bounce it out to the outside and let your back use his wheels and his speed to get around the corner, and that's a big pickup of 9 and making a more manageable 3rd down and 1.
Yep, giving it to the wide receiver there. So a 3rd and 1. And the ball goes up the middle, and this time some running room for the Falcons. As a Spencer Katonga once again.
Brought down by Krishan Bean. First down, Huskies.
So for the first time, we're seeing the Falcons offense start to move the chains and put together a good-looking drive of their own. Hammond with 2 backs right next to him. Keeps the ball himself, and he is wrapped up, not going anywhere. Might have lost about half a yard on that play. Second down and 10. 12 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Hammond sends a man in motion. Now he's looking to pass on this play. He's being rushed and looked like the Badgers had a shot for a pick there, but it sails out of bounds. Hammond was looking for Luke Miller. So now we come to our 3rd down. 3rd and 11, another 3rd and long for the Falcons. Oh, he's going to line up under center. Which is interesting because Snow College has been blowing up this offensive line all afternoon long, and now Hammond is just going to throw it away as the Badgers pat him on his heels that whole play. And once again, that defensive line for Snow College dominating the offensive line of Air Force.
And that was just a tough situation if you're the coach for the Falcons. You're just right across midfield, you're out of field goal range, it's 4th down and 10. What do you do? And it looks like they decided to punt it and pin the Badgers deep.
Jared Porter in to punt the ball for the Falcons. Chance Arvin back to receive for Snow College. Porter gets it off, a high punt. Arvin calls the fair catch, and he takes it in at the 10-yard line. And so now Snow College jumped out to the early 3-0 lead. That ended up going down 10-3, tied it back up, and will have an opportunity to even this, to take the lead as they come out on the field here with 11:24 left to play in the second quarter. Miller under center. Hands off. Looking for room. He finds it. Cutting from one end to the other. That's Brian Waiters using his speed and a little bit of shiftiness. A lot of running for about 9 yards. Waiters, out of all the backs that we've seen this afternoon, Ben, Waiters seems to be the one whose Air Force can't quite stop.
That's just great field vision by Waiters, seeing that there's nothing to the outside, sees the defenders coming, bounces it back to the inside, follows his blockers up the middle, and for a gain of 9, which would have been a tackle for a loss.
Miller looks right, completes it. That was number 86, Chandler Fishneck, on the reception. I think that's Fishneck's first catch of this afternoon. They tried to get it to him on that trick play earlier, but now he gets it on the simple route, and the Badgers have a first down, 1st and 10 for Snow College. Miller hands off to Deli. Deli shakes the first man, but then a plethora of Falcons take him down right at the line of scrimmage, so no gain. Bring up a 2nd and 10.
Brought down by number 45, Ben Bollinger. 2nd and 10.
Miller with Deli lined up next to him. This time set to throw, pump fakes, and finds an open man right down the middle. Good for about 20 yards is Alonzo Simpson on the reception. The passing game really starting to click this afternoon for Snow.
You got to credit the Badger offensive line, though, giving a lot of time for Miller to allow his receivers to get downfield, giving him that pass protection, and finding the open receiver across the middle of the field for that first down conversion.
So back and forth from shotgun to under center. Miller now hands off to Deli, and Deli has a wide open hole to run through, and he's going to take that for what looks to be another Snow College first down, and yep, it is. They're moving the chains. And the band knows it, and so they start to play the tune. 9 minutes left to play till halftime.
That's another snow collar.
I think that was Deli's longest run of the night there for 10 yards. Air Force has been able to put the clamps down on him here early on, but can they keep it up? Deli again, the offensive line is giving him huge holes to run through. And Deli runs for about 8 more yards. Second and 3, Miller under center. Miller play fakes to Deli, looking for his man. It's Ruben St. Jean again on the reception. Ruben St. Jean starting to show his athleticism with these.
And that's just a perfect, simple slant pass towards the left side of the field. And Damari Sims, cornerback for the Falcons, just never turned around to locate the football.
Ball handed off to Deli, and Air Force was all over that play, tripping them up at the line of scrimmage.
Handoff to Shapiro Elliott. Tripped up by number 8, Parker Norton.
So second down and 6 yards to go to the end zone. Second and goal for the Badgers. Miller hands off to Waiters.
Flags down on the play.
Alonso Simpson, the ball carrier. Tackle made by number 30, Zeke Mammon. Flag on the play.
Yet to hear the call from the refs. As the play stands, it would be about 3rd down and 5. But we are pending the penalty to see. And it's a holding on Snow College. So that's going to bump him. Bump him back 10 more yards. Third and 15. Excuse me, second down. Miller hands off to Deli once again, and he rushes ahead for about 2 yards. So now it's going to bring up 3rd down. So 3rd and 13. Badgers need to get it into the end zone, or else they might have to bring on the kicking team once again. We saw Austin Pulver make 1 field goal earlier. He missed the second attempt from about 40 yards. Miller back to pass, looking left, finds his man. It's Simpson, but Simpson's not going to be able to go anywhere, and Simpson's down on the ground and he's hurt.
Miller's pass complete to number 3, Alonso Simpson.
And he started calling for medical attention immediately when he went down. So Simpson's catch was good for about 3 yards.
But that'll set up a more manageable field goal attempt for this Badgers special teams. But you hate to see any athlete in any sport around the world go down with an injury, and let's hope Simpson is all right.
That's Alonzo Simpson, the 5'9", 184-pound sophomore out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. A few players from Georgia here on the Snow College roster. And so we're going to take a timeout as they tend to Alonzo. Nope, he's up. I'm just joking, all you guys. Alonzo's walking off under his own strength.
Austin Pulver on to attempt a field goal.
You know, if it was me, Jacob, again, I mentioned this earlier, if I'm the Falcons special teams, I play for a safety right here. I'm going to let the Badgers beat me by the field goal team, the field goal unit, as they're about 50-50 whenever they line up to kick a field goal. So I wouldn't let them surprise me with a fake.
Pulver puts the ball up, and that one straight through the uprights. So 2 out of 3 for Austin Pulver. He's seeing some action this afternoon. It's 13-10, 5:39 left to play till halftime. We'll be right back. Welcome back here on Snow TV as Snow College takes a 3-point lead off of that last field goal, 13-10, kicking the ball off. Goes in the hands of Henny, and this one deep in the end zone is not going to allow him to take it out. And so he takes a knee. Air Force had a decent little drive going on their last offensive possession, but it stalled right about the 40-yard line. And so they will get another opportunity here to potentially tie or take the lead.
This is a big possession for the Falcons right here with just over 5 minutes remaining in this first half. And the Falcons do get the ball to start the second half. So if they can put together a nice little drive right here and to either tie or take the lead and get the ball back at the start of the second half, will be very good for this Falcons squad. But there are flags down on the field, and most likely we will get a false start against the Falcons.
And so the refs are talking with one another.
Dead ball. Offside. Defense, number 48. 5-yard penalty.
It's a dead ball offsides. So 1st and 5, you don't get that one very often for Air Force.
Low snap.
And the ball's passed off to Henny, so they bring in a quarterback as a wide receiver. But he's able to get him the almost the first down. It's going to be 2nd and 1. So 2nd and 1. For the Falcons, 5 minutes left to play till halftime. Hammond lines up under center, and he gives off, and they got the first down and more as the big fullback, who's been seeing a lot of action on this Air Force team, number 38. His name is escaping me. Who is that, Ben?
Simeon Page?
Simone Page.
Oh, he's a big boy, Jacob. It took 5 to 6 Badger defenders just to take him down after he got the first down.
Oh, and Snow College blows that play up as Hammond hands it off to Corey Lane, who is lit up. What a dominant defensive front from Snow College today. They are overwhelming this Air Force offensive line, which is not what you want to see for the long run moving forward.
Jacob Henney, who's been returning the kickoffs this game, is now in the game as a slot receiver, and they hand it off to him.
And Henney gets wrapped up at just about the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and long. 3rd and 14 for Air Force. Hammond lines up in shotgun. Low snap, it's on the ground. I think, no, they're gonna say Air Force got it, and they did. So what could have been a catastrophe for the Falcons just turns out to be a bad play. Because you did not want to, if you were the Falcons, you did not want to see Snow College with the ball in that field position with 3 minutes left to play.
And it's a good thing for the Badger D that they did fumble that ball, because the Badgers were bringing a corner blitz on the far end of the field, and there was no one within 10 yards of that receiver.
Porter set to punt, but the refs blow the whistles before the play.
Well, the ref showing his ability in his good hands to catch the ball.
So a false start is called on the offense, going to move him back another 5 yards. That makes it 4th and 23. Fans want the Badgers to block the kick. But I think Snow might just be playing this one safe. I don't know. We will see. Yeah, they play it safe. Arvin running back. Boy, he sailed that right over his head. Arvin picks it up at the 15, looking for some room. He sees some room on the left side, but almost gets taken down by the first man. Now he comes back and a flag flies in. This might be a face mask yet again. Riley that was Chance Arbin on the return. On the tackle was Jacob Walker. You know, it's a good thing that Walker initially grabbed his jersey to slow him up, because Arbin had some room to run, and so that slowed him up enough to let some other tacklers come in, and they do call the face mask. So that's going to be another 15 yards for the Falcons.
Now both defenses in this first half have been playing tough defensively, and for the Falcons, you do not want the Badgers to go up by 2 possessions going into halftime, carrying all the momentum. Now is the time for the Falcons defense to take a stand in this last 2 minutes of this first half and be able to keep their offense still in this game, down by 1 possession.
So Miller flicks it to Simpson, and Simpson is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. The Falcons blowing that one up. Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. We are at 2 minutes. Miller finds an open man. Down the middle is Brandon Jones for a gain of about 20, 25 yards. And that's going to bring Snow College into Air Force territory. 1:34 left on the clock till halftime.
Miller's pass completes to number 89, Brandon Jones, for another Snow College
The passing game really starting to click for Snow as Miller finds Jones yet again, this time just a gain of 5 yards as Snow continues to move the ball down the field.
Brought down by number 27, Brandon Smith.
Miller back to pass, finding another man, Alex Croyel.
Miller's pass completes to number 14, Alex Coyle.
So Croyel moves the chains for Snow College. 1 minute left on the clock. Snow now in field goal range. Looking to extend this lead and carry the momentum into halftime. Miller again to Croyel. Croyel down. Did he get out of bounds though? Clock does stop. So they're going to say he got out of bounds. It looked like he might have been tackled there just before it.
So 57 seconds left on the clock in the second quarter, and the Badgers have 2 timeouts left. So great clock management by the Badgers right here to potentially go up by 2 possessions.
Miller looks right. Sees an open man, finds him, and it's caught at the 5-yard line. Kiwa Mowo with his first catch of the afternoon. Brings Snow up to the 5, 50 seconds left on the clock, looking to score a touchdown here before half. Miller gives to Deli. Deli breaks the first tackler, looking for some room. Now the push. Both teams just fight for the end zone, and touchdown, Snow College. Deli keeps his legs moving on the play, and the rest of the line got in there, and it became a pushing match between 2 teams. And Snow showing their strength, able to push Deli into the end zone. That makes it 19-10, 31 seconds left on the clock till we reach halftime, and the kick from Pulver is up and through the uprights. Pretty extra point from Austin Pulver. So it is 20-10 here in Ephraim. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with kickoff in just a minute. So with 30 seconds left to play till halftime, Snow's gonna kick it off, up by 10. And they kick it to the man who brought it to the house earlier, Henny, and he's gonna get an opportunity to take this one back again. Found a little bit of running room, but then wrapped up by a Badger there near the 20-yard line. That was Connor Taylor on the tackle. So 27 seconds left here for Air Force. Do you think Air Force tries to get some points on the board here, Ben, or do they play it safe?
I say you play it safe. You get the ball back to begin the second half. Just play it safe. Go into halftime, talk it over, talk about new offensive strategies. That's exactly what they're going to do. Head into halftime down by 10 and come back in the second half swinging.
Yep, and so that will do us here for Snow TV here on this first half of play as Hammond just takes a knee. The clock is not running though. Oh no, that's not going to do us up here. Snow College takes the timeout. They're gonna try to force Air Force to punt here.
Mountain America is proud to support Snow College athletics.
So interesting move here by the Badgers, but we've seen this before from head coach Britt Mon. He likes to stay aggressive.
Stop by Mountain America's Ephraim branch and get your new custom
And
card.
so he wants to give their punt return team or their offense one last shot. So 24 seconds on the clock, 2nd and 10. I think Snow College only has one more. No, they have 2 more timeouts remaining. That's what the scoreboard's saying too, but I think that was their second that they just took, so I'm not quite sure of the thinking here. So the clock's running now. And so I think that's going to do us here as Hammond takes another knee. And so, what an exciting first half of football. We had Air Force jump out to a 10-3 lead on Snow, but Snow responds back with 17 unanswered points. And now they lead 20-10 against Air Force Prep. And so we will be right back up here with you with some halftime stats here in just a minute, but here is our Badger Spotlight of the Week. Welcome back here on Snow TV, here for the Badger Spotlight of the Week. I'm joined by Micah Bowis. Thanks for coming in today, Micah.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Well, first off, I mean, it's the Spotlight of the Week. We want to know who Micah is. So give us a little background info, Micah, on like where you're from, your family, who you were before you came to Snow.
I grew up in West Point, Utah, pretty much the middle of nowhere, and I have 3 brothers and no sisters, and that's my family, and so yeah.
House full of boys.
Yeah.
Nice. Must be tough, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And so what brought you here to Snow College?
Soccer.
Soccer?
Yeah.
When did they start recruiting you? How did that process all get started?
Yeah, Nuno came to one of my tournaments and watched me play, and we started talking, and that's how it happened, so.
Oh, that's great. That is good stuff. So how has the transition been from high school to collegiate sports?
High school ball was a lot slower pace. We had a lot more time on the ball, but in college ball you have to take like 2 touches max. So that's been a transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. I mean, you've been starting, and so obviously you're doing something right with the transition. And Snow College is now 4-0 on the season. So, and it's your first year for the Snow College Badger program. So, just let us know what's the feel of the team right now, as you know it's the first year and you're already winning games.
We all work really hard. That's like our biggest thing, and we've just been working really hard, and we're wanting to show people that we are great and we're not just a first-year program. We're more than that.
Well, you're showing it. I mean, you guys traveled up to Colorado, Northwestern Community College, and played them last week, and you beat them by double digits, shutouts in both games. So, like, how is this happening? What is the key to success for this team?
We've just been working really hard. We didn't give up that game. We just kept pushing.
Hard work.
Yeah.
That's what every coach preaches, right?
Yep.
And it's what the Lady Badgers are doing. Well, that's good stuff. And so now you really start to get into conference play, and you have visiting Salt Lake Community College this weekend. What's the team's focus with Slick coming into town?
High pressure and quick touches.
High pressure and quick touches.
Hard work.
Hard work, of course. Well, we're looking forward to that game, which will be right here on Snow TV. I mean, good luck to you in that. But before we
Thank
let
you.
you go, Micah, we got to know, like, just a little bit of your personal life as well. Badger Nation. If you could eat like any food, any cheap food, you just get down on the couch, snacking down on something. What is that for you?
I love grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Good stuff. You like tomato soup with it? Yeah, can't beat that. What about like for fun? What does Micah do for fun?
Me and my friends like to go up the canyon and go hammocking, so.
Hammocking.
Yeah.
That is a good thing to do.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
fun.
Well, thanks for coming in,
Yep.
Micah. It was great to have you, and make sure you don't miss out on their game this Friday. They'll be taking on Salt Lake Community College Friday and Saturday. So best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, and welcome back here on Snow TV. And so, as you can see, we have our halftime stats up on the board. And kind of an interesting stat to note about here, Ben, is, sorry, I just bit my tongue, but is 16 first downs for Snow, while there's only 4 first downs for Air Force Prep.
That was an interesting stat to point out there, Jacob.
Also, the offensive yardage, I mean, passing yards, 211 for Snow, 85 rushing, and only 31 passing yards for the Falcons, along with 14 yards of rushing. So, looking at these stats, I would almost say Air Force is lucky to only be down by 10 at this point.
Right, you got to credit this Badger defense, too, because an Air Force Prep team that put over 300 yards last week against New Mexico Military, and holding them to only 31 passing yards and 40 passing yards and yards altogether. Right, you are only to be down by 10 after the first half. We'll expect to see the same thing from the Badgers in the second half, holding this Air Force Prep Academy offense to minimum yardage, but we'll see what the coaching staff for the Huskies have discussed in halftime in the locker room as the Huskies prepare to get the ball back at the beginning of the second half. And so a correction on our part, Jacob. So Air Force Prep is not the Falcons, they are the Huskies.
Yeah, so our bad, but we will call them that. And now we get set to kick off here in the second half. Number 23, the Jaron Maxfield, kicking it for Snow College. So the Huskies with a chance to receive and an opportunity to go for the moat. Drive down their own, but there's Henny, he could go again, he's got one man to beat, it's Maxfield, and he's got to beat, can't Snow catch it, he's through 20 to the 10, touchdown!
My oh my, Jacob, give that boy a speeding ticket. That is the second time he is taking a kickoff to the house. Totally shutting down this special teams defense for the Badgers. My oh my, that boy deserves a speeding ticket.
You can say that again, Ben. Boy, both times it looked like he was going to be caught too, but right there at the end, he just turns on the turbo boost and flies away from everyone. Henny, 2 returns for touchdowns.
Who needs an offense when you got a player like that who can take it to the house for 6 every time?
You're right, he's the only one who's been able to score any touchdowns for Air Force, and the extra point is good. And so here we are, 20 to 17 here in Ephraim, 14:46 left on the clock here in the third quarter. What an explosive play from Air Force Prep, and we're going to take a quick timeout and be back here in just one moment. And welcome back. Only 14 seconds here into this second half. And we saw the kickoff return for a touchdown for the second this afternoon was Henny. So we'll see what we can do to receive points. Oh, it's off! Snow College player, and it looks like Air Force Prep has come up with
You know, Jacob, we talked about options for Air Force Preparatory Academy to come out. Just get Jacob care of it as he took that kickoff return on that last kickoff to the house. And just on that kickoff by the Huskies, a short kick at the 30-yard line as the Badgers try to field it, but bounced off the Badgers' chest, and the Huskies recover, setting up shop inside Badger territory as the Badgers appear to have jumped the line and will await the penalty call. And so it will be an offsides call against the Badger defense, moving the ball 5 yards for the Husky offense, setting up 1st and 5 as the Huskies will be ahead of the chains, setting up shop at the Badger 28-yard line. Huskies play action call. Going to his left, flush out of the pocket. He's going to take it, and he will be forced out of bounds just short of the first down marker. And what a great heads-up play by DJ Heyman to avoid the rush, roll out of the pocket, roll to his left, and pick up some good yardage on the play, setting up a 2nd down and 2 for the Husky offense as they are looking to strike for the 2nd time this afternoon in the 2nd half. Heyman under center, and looks like the Badger D jumped again offsides, or was it the offensive line for the Huskies that moved first? So it will be an offsides call again against the Badger defense, and that will result in a 1st down for the Huskies. So the Huskies moving the ball on their first offensive possession of the 2nd half as they are on the Badger 20-yard line looking to strike. Heyman under center, got a single back set, and a very familiar formation that we've seen all day. Heyman looking back, looking to his left. Then he comes, lets it go. He's got a guy tackled at the 5-yard line. What a great play by Heyman to connect to his receiver, streaking across the middle of the field. A connecting pass on the play, and what a great pass across the middle to his receiver, tackled at the 5-yard line, setting up shop inside the Badger 5-yard line. Approaching 14 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Heyman under center again. And they're handed off to the fullback as he is stuck at the line of scrimmage, setting up 2nd down for the Husky offense.
Boy, the momentum has just been all Air Force here in the past 2 minutes. It's hard to believe that just like that, Air Force could be taking the lead here.
Last time the Huskies were in this position deep in Badger territory, they had to settle for a field goal. Let's see if they can punch it in for 6 on this possession, but unable to do so on that play, setting up 3rd and goal.
Simeon Page again on the rush there for the Huskies. 3rd and 2, 2 yards to go.
What do you do here, Jacob? Do you run it up the middle? Do you bounce it out to the outside? Or do you take a shot to number 15, Dan Morris, who is on single coverage on the far right side of the field?
I say run it to the left side. We'll see what the Huskies do as they do take it down to the left side. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Now it's a fight for the goal line, and he's going to be taken down at the 1-yard line. That was Corey Lane on the run.
What do you do now? You can easily tie it with a field goal, or do you go for it? And if you don't get it here on this down, Jacob, you pin the Badgers deep in their own territory on their own 1-yard line. And that's not too bad of a defensive stance for your defense if you're the Huskies.
And
so
it looked like they were lining up to go for it, and Snow College is going to take a timeout. And you know, Ben, I completely agree with that call. with we were talking about the offensive statistics here just before half and how it looked like Air Force was just barely over 50 yards of offense. No, they weren't even at 50. They were at 46 total yards of offense in the first half. And so if you get the ball down here near the goal line, I think you've got to go for the touchdown.
You're on the road, you're in hostile environment, you're playing against the former #1 team in the nation, as the Badgers were #1 last week, but an unfortunate loss against Mesa Community College last week. But just because they're not #1 anymore doesn't mean they have the firepower and the capacity to be #1. So you're on the road, you might as well just give them a sucker punch and try to score the touchdown.
And so the ball is placed on about the 1.5 yard line.
So again, you still have that 1-on-1 matchup with Morris on the far right side.
And a flag is thrown. Uh-oh. If this is a false start, that might make the Huskies rethink everything.
Illegal substitution. Defense.
No, this one's on Snow. It's an illegal substitution.
So that will move the ball halfway to the goal line, making it half a yard from the plane of the end zone. Still 4th down for the Huskies.
Boy, it's right there. The ball is right up against the goal line. You might almost think they're going to sneak it on this, but no. Hammond hands up to the big fullback, and he's in for the touchdown. On 4th down, the Huskies convert. That is Simeon Page once again with the carry. The big boy carries it through and gives Air Force its first lead since that 10-3 lead it took off of the Henny kickoff return. And so now it's a 23-20 game for Air Force Prep.
Well, the second half beginning out a lot like last week against Mesa Community College for the Badgers. They were up most of the first half, but they came out. The Thunderbirds from Mesa came out, scored a quick touchdown on their opening drive in the beginning of the second half, got an onside kick, and scored another touchdown. This is exactly what's happening for the Huskies this second half. They score a touchdown on a kick return, and then they recover a muffed kick return by the Badgers, and they punch it in for 6 with the PAT pending to make it 7 points. And so the Huskies scoring quick 14 points in the first 3 minutes of the second half, and it's looking a lot the same for the Badgers as it started off last week against Mesa.
Yes, it is, Ben. But we'll have to see how things start off. It was interesting to note going into halftime, all the momentum was with Snow College. They seem to finally be settling into a rhythm to really start to click offensively, and their defense was, as always, being staunch. But just like that, they find themselves down by 4 after 2 quick touchdowns from the Huskies. Jared Porter has been seeing a lot of action in this game. The kicker and the punter for the Huskies. Kicks off from the 35. They give it off, and he's still running. He might have some room up at the sideline. And Huskies quickly corral him out of bounds.
And a late flag on the play.
That was Khalif Simone with the return. We'll see, the refs are talking with each other about the flag. Still no call from the officiating.
Personal foul, late hit, Snow College, 81.
And they're going to call a personal foul, a late hit on Snow College. So this is going to move it back 15 more yards.
So what was going to be great field position for Miller and the Badger offense coming out for the first possession of the second half will push them back to the 22-yard line, setting up shop for the first time this afternoon in the second half.
Miller sets up under center at the 22. Miller looks right. Gives to Alonzo Simpson, who catches it a couple yards shy of the first down, and then with the nice move, moves the chains forward for a 12-yard gain.
Miller's pass complete to Alonzo Simpson. Brought down by
So another 1st and 10 for the Badgers. Miller hands off again.
Brian Waiters, the ball carrier.
And he gives off to Brian Waiters. Now we've seen Deli, we've seen Waiters, and we've even seen a couple wide receivers line up in the backfield, and this is all due to Josh Labrador, the starting tailback. He is out for the rest of the season. This is the Badgers' first game without him, with a broken collarbone. And Miller passes it out to Brandon Jones, who catches it right at the line of scrimmage where he is hit. So no gain. It's going to be 3rd and 10 for Snow College.
He's at 3rd and 9.
So here the Badgers are set up needing a first down after a tough opening to the second half, leading by 10, now already finding themselves at 4. He's got Waiters down the sideline, and Waiters off the fingertips. It's dropped, incomplete pass. That's going to force the punt team out on the field for the Badgers.
And that's something that Waiters just needs to get out of his head. The ball was there. The ball will be coming to him definitely more throughout this game, so he's just got to have a short-term memory with that one and just let that incompletion go and get ready to come back on the next offensive series later in this game when they get the ball back.
So a booming punt.
Flag down on the play.
Fair catch is called.
Nice punt by Don Tomasola. Received by Henry.
That was Henny on the fair catch. And yet to hear any word on the punt, on the flag. So Air Force with the ball, and they were able to punch it in for their first offensive touchdown of the afternoon with their last possession. They only had to drive it about 35 yards, but still they got to be feeling pretty good about themselves, able to get that touchdown. So the Badgers defense needing to step up here in this big moment at this part of the game. A lot of talking going on the field right now. All the officials are together as they talk to the coaching staff of Snow College now. It looks like some sort of conclusion's been made, but we're yet to hear any word from the officiating. The defense is coming out on the field for Snow College.
Outside, penalty after penalty. There was a substitution on the defense. That penalty will be accepted.
So there was 2 penalties on the play. An offsides on Air Force, along with a illegal substitution. The offsides was declined. The illegal substitution accepted. And so that's going to move the ball back to the 19-yard line where this Air Force drive is going to start. Hammond lines up under center. Hammond hands off to the man who scored the touchdown earlier, Simeon Page. And Simeon gets about 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Now that's more like what you envision when you see the Air Force offense with this triple option that they run, getting those constant 3 to 4 yards every play to set up a very manageable 3rd down. Another handoff, and he seems to be met at the line of scrimmage. No gain. And that's what kind of starts to hurt this offense, Ben, is when they have those plays of no gain or a loss of yards, and you dig yourself into a 3rd and long. 3rd and 7. Hammond under center once again. Seems to be looking for some motion. Now he finally gets it. And is that a false start? There seemed to be some miscommunication there between Hammond and his wideouts. They're going to call a false start here. So that's going to move him back 5 more yards. But Hammond kept looking over at this wideout, giving him the signal to motion over, and he was just looking back at Hammond like, what are you talking about, man?
Just poor communication on Hammond and his receiver, making this a even longer 3rd down opportunity to convert. And the Badgers looking to bring the powerhouse blitz. 3 receivers set for Hammond to his left.
So 3rd and a long 11. Hammond is picked off. Oh, the one-handed interception there by the Badgers. That is number 45, Alani Putatate. What do you think about that interception right there, Ben?
That's just a poor pass by Hammond. But that's just great heads-up awareness. And to get his hand up there, get his big bare paws up there and just palm that ball and bringing it down, and setting up great field possession for his Badger offense, looking to take the lead again for the 2nd time in this ball game.
Wow, hands off to Alani for that interception. He literally had a man draped all over him, and he brought that ball down with one hand. But that big bear paw gripped that ball, and he is able to bring down the interception. So the defense shows up. Now it's the offense the other way, and it's a touchdown for Snow College. Kiwa Mao with the catch. And just like that, the Badgers take the lead back. So Snow College, they were able to get their passing game going there in the first half, particularly the 2nd quarter, and picking it right back up again on that play, as we saw Miller and Maru connect there. And so 27-24 here in Ephraim. You are watching Snow TV, and we will be back in just one moment.
the kickoff.
And welcome back here in Ephraim as we have the kickoff. This time it's the other return man, not Henny, taking it. We'll see what he can work up, and he only gets out to the 25-yard line. Good coverage by the Badgers.
Levis in the third with the roughback. Brought down by number 18, Caden Carter. Huskies will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25.
So what was a 3 and out for the Huskies on their last possession, which ended in an interception. They'll start off once again, and it looks like about a 3-yard gain for Simeon Page. That seems to be their go-to play on first down, Ben. The handoff up the middle to their fullback, Simeon Page.
Now, we were talking during halftime, Jacob, that if the Huskies wanted to come out with a victory this afternoon, they really needed to establish that passing game and get that running game, not just up the middle, but they need to really bounce that run game out to the outside and use their speed to outrun the defenders of the Badgers. But that play going nowhere as he is tackled for a loss.
Hammond taking down the backfield, and another 3rd and long for Air Force. So this is going to be 3rd and 15. What part of the field do you think they're looking to here, Ben? Hammond lines up shotgun formation, low snap, he's rushed, he's got to get rid of it. He was trying to thread the needle there to his wide receiver. That was Randy Falk, the intended receiver. But passed a little too far and low. And so the punt team out for Air Force. So back and forth here in this second quarter. Early on it was all Air Force. And now Snow's defense starting to really set the tone and turn the page for the Badgers as they're able to force the turnover on their first possession, and this one forced the 3 and out. And here comes the punt. Snow goes for the block, just misses it. Fair catch called by Jance Arbin. Must have thought the defenders were closer than they were because he caught that with a lot of room. But that's going to mean Snow College will start off with the ball at the 40-yard line. So good field position for the Badgers. We got 7 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Offense set to take the field. Miller and Deli will be in the backfield. Justin Miller hands off to Deli. Oh, it's a reverse. Here comes Simpson the other way. He makes one man miss, but it's going to end up being a 3-yard loss for Alonzo Simpson.
This is the first time in this game that we've really seen this Badger offense open up the trick specialty package, and so far it's really been unsuccessful. But why not? Why not go for it? Why not try it out?
3-point lead for the Badgers. Miller passes off to Croyle. Alex Croyle with the catch. That's a gain of about 5 yards. It's going to make it a 3rd and 7. This is a very big play here for the Air Force defense. They have struggled to stop this Badger offense ever since the second quarter. And if they can get a 3 and out here, I think that would be huge. And helping them gain their confidence, but that's not going to happen.
Ball comes out!
No, they're going to say incomplete pass.
So great hands-on defense by the Huskies to pop that ball out after it's completed, but popping it out to force the incomplete pass. And great hands-on D by the Huskies to get themselves off of the field and get themselves a breather, and then have their Husky offense come back on the field and potentially take the lead in this ball game.
So that was Alex Croyel with the dropped pass. And now the punt is boomed the other way. Fair catch signaled and brought in at just about the 18, 19-yard line is where Air Force is going to start off deep in their own territory once again for the Huskies. Defense holds tight for Air Force. Now it's time to see, ever since that touchdown drive early here in the third quarter, the Husky offense has not been able to do much ever since. Hand up the middle. He's got some running room, and he might have a first down. Is Paige Simeon. And it's going to be signaled just shy of it. So a 2nd and 1 on the 28-yard line. Looked like Air Force was trying to catch Snow College jumping there. Hustling up to the line, calling the snap count, but nobody moved. Now it's Simeon Page again. He muscles his way for 5 yards and a Air Force first down.
I really like to see the Huskies offense right here, Jacob. Try to catch this Badger D off guard by doing a play action, maybe a quick 5-yard slant up the field. But they disregard that and hand it off again up the middle.
Well, heck, Ben, if you can get about 4 yards for every time you hand it to Simeon Page, why not? Just keep feeding the big boy the ball. Simeon Page really starting to come out here in this second half. Now he's a 5'11", 224 fullback, as that's Henny. They tried slipping the ball to on the outside. He's going to get pushed out just about the line of scrimmage. But he's actually a Utah native, straight out of Riverton. So he's coming back to the state where he grew up in, and he's having a good outing for himself here in Ephraim. Riverton about 2 hours north of here of Ephraim.
Which is my hometown, Jacob.
Hammond, 3rd and 8. Looks to pass. He's got time, and he overshoots his receiver, but a flag is thrown.
And so another thing that we were talking about halftime, Jacob, about what the Air Force Academy needed to do to be successful in coming out of this game with a victory, was their offensive line holding up and providing time for Heyman to look downfield and giving time for his receivers to get downfield. And that was a great job by the Air Force offense to hold up and giving time for Heyman to scout down the field and deliver a strike down the field. But unfortunately, there was an pass interference call against the Badgers, providing a 15-yard penalty against the Badgers, enabling the Huskies to have a first down.
So that's called on Braxton Winterton, the sophomore out of Pleasant Grove and one of the defensive team captains. Oh, man, and we got some scuffle going on as looked like a false start. A false start was originally called, but then the two players just hit each other, and another flag is thrown. Involved in that was, for Snow, Sione V.
Number 48, 5 yards.
And they're going to call
First down.
him for the personal foul. Sione Vihiketi.
That was a good pronunciation, Jacob.
I'm trying, Ben. I'm trying. And so a 1st and 5 and a correction. That wasn't a personal foul. They just ended up calling the offsides. But that run goes for about 3 yards from Simeon Page. And he looks a little bit shooken up after that last play, a little bit stiff as he goes running off the sidelines. And that's a big loss for Air Force if he's not able to come back, but we'll see how things go out as he goes over on the sideline and just sits down. 2nd down and 2, and
Timeout on the field. Air Force.
a timeout is called by Air Force. So we're going to take a quick timeout as well here in Ephraim. Snow up by 3. We have 2 minutes and 57 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. 2nd down and 2. Hammond lines up under center. And a fumble. It looks like Hammond just fell right on top of it, though.
But nonetheless, the Huskies putting together a nice little drive right here, Jacob, moving the ball down the field. The running game looking really effective on this drive right here. Let's see if they can convert on this 3rd down and 4.
That play can't help, though. That could be a momentum changer. We'll see here as Hammond lies up under center. And is that another fumble? This time, I think Snow might have recovered. No signal from the refs, and they did. Snow College with the recovery. Coming out of the pile was Dax Eisinger. And that is the first lost fumble for the Air Force Huskies.
Well, that's just a dagger to the heart for the Air Force Academy. They were moving the ball just fine down the field, running the ball. The running game was finally being effective, but back-to-back fumbles on those last 2 possessions, and the second one finally got away from them and setting up good field position for the Badger offense.
So obviously the quarterback and the center for Air Force have some things they need to talk about and work through there on the sidelines with 2 consecutive fumbles, and Miller was set back to pass, and he's hit as he throws. So incomplete, just kind of ball went into the ground, which will bring us up to a 2nd down and 10. Miller under center. 2:11 left on the clock till the end of this 3rd quarter. Deli with the handoff. He hasn't seen much action here in the 3rd quarter, but with that one, he gets about 10 yards. It might be good for a Badger 1st down.
Shaquille Deli, the ball carrier. Brought down by number 57, Jordan Jackson, and 25, George Silvanich.
And it is good for a first down, so Snow College moves the chains, and they are now in Air Force territory. So back and forth all afternoon long has been the Badgers and the Huskies, leading us to this 27-24 score in favor of Snow College. Miller hands off to Deli. Deli had all sorts of room to run. He ends up being taken down by Barton Lester, the safety out of Montgomery, Alabama. Oh, and Snow hikes the ball. There's a substitution trying to be made there by Air Force. That was Lakota Willis was running in late, and he was behind the Snow College line. And so Lakota Lewis, the coaches have to call a timeout as he's running in on the field. And I think that's the first timeout that Air Force has used this half. So both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining here in the third quarter as we are down to 1:34 on the clock. And so we're going to take a quick timeout as well here in Ephraim, and we'll be back in just a few seconds. So here are the Badgers lining up on this second down. Miller play action fake, and he's got a wide open Brandon Jones down the sideline. Brandon Jones cuts it back inside, and he's going to score. Brandon Jones with the touchdown reception. We saw him catch 2 against the Utah Shock earlier in the year, and that one goes for about 40 yards.
Well, just nobody accounted for the tight end on the Husky defense. They're focused on Miller and the play action to Deli, and they were covering the receivers, and no one accounted for the tight end. Jones rolling out the left side on just a simple wheel route, streaking down the left side of the field wide open, and that's what resulted in the touchdown.
Austin Pulver puts in the extra point, and that leads us to now 34-24. The Badgers leading Air Force Prep here in Ephraim. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the kickoff. So here we are at Badger Stadium, and Snow College has extended their lead back out to 10, which is what they went into the half originally with, and the sun is out for the first time today, Ben. So clouds starting to clear, sun is shining, and we got football here in Ephraim. Here's the kickoff. They kick it away from Henny. Wisely, and it's muffed. That one's muffed by Air Force. Recovered by Henny, though. He came running in there, still getting his hands on the ball, even when it's not kicked to him.
Covered up by number 16, Jacob Henny.
You know, it's kind of interesting to see as the earlier in the second half there was that muffed kickoff by Connor Taylor, who normally doesn't receive the ball, And when Air Force scored following that, they tried to kick it straight to him again. And there we have the muff kicked off by Air Force, but able to land on it. So now they're starting from their own 28-yard line. Oh, and the ball's fumbled again. That is 3 snaps in a row. This time it is recovered by Air Force.
Well, the Huskies were able to move the ball quite a bit on that last drive that they had. But as you just mentioned, Jacob, the last 2 possessions that they had on the last drive resulted in fumbles, and they lost that second fumble, which resulted in a Snow College touchdown to give them this 10-point lead. And again, the first snap of this drive results in a fumble, and they can fall on top of it. So poor communication going on between the quarterback and center, and I believe I stand corrected. Nope. And another low snap.
This time they go to shotgun, but the snap does come away, and the pass goes for about 8 yards. That's Henny on the reception.
So just under 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter, and the Huskies have the ball third down into a crucial third down conversion that they need right here to give their defense more of a breather, as they have been on the field for quite a bit the second half today, Jacob.
And the flag is called before the snap, and refs whistle the play dead. 8 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. False start is called on the offense. So this is going to make a much tougher third down for Air Force. Might even change your play call here. It's 3rd and 7, goes from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7.
And so the Huskies are just going to let the game clock run out and head into the fourth quarter down 10. But this is really good for them. It gives them an opportunity to discuss the next play call on this 3rd down and 7.
So what an exciting third quarter we had. Both teams scoring 2 touchdowns. We had it was all Air Force early on, and then Snow College came back in the second half of the third quarter to extend their lead back out to 10 points. And so don't go anywhere, because we had a good one here in Ephraim. We got 15 more minutes left to play, and we'll be back with that in just a minute. So Air Force with the ball and a big 3rd and 7 as they find themselves down by 2 possessions. And here we are in the fourth quarter, 15 minutes left to play till the end of regulation. Low snap out to Hammond. Hammond gets the pass out, but he is leveled on the play. That was Isaiah Sampson, the slot receiver, with the catch. But they're going to say he fell out of bounds. Never got a foot down. So pass ends up being incomplete and forces Air Force to punt here early in the fourth quarter.
So now for the Husky defense, you got to come out and play strong and be able to hold the Badgers to a 3-and-out and get the offense the ball back, as you are down 10 at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Arbin fields the punt, looks to the right side, cuts it back, and an Air Force player got his hand on his foot and he wasn't letting go. That was number 27. We don't seem to have him on our roster. So what would it mean for Snow College to score a touchdown here, Ben?
It would mean a lot for this this Badger offense, and especially this Badger defense, to go up by 3 possessions early in the fourth quarter, and the way that their defense has been playing the second half would make it extremely difficult for the Huskies to get back in this ball game. So to go up by 3 possessions would pretty much put a cap on this game, but not indefinitely. But 2 possessions is still more likely to come back for the Huskies early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I would say 3 possessions as we're looking at the stats here. As that pass was complete to Mo'o there for a gain of about 8 yards. But as we look at the stats, through 3 quarters of play, Air Force only has 94 yards of total offense. So unless there's some more magic from Henny, as I don't know if they could come back being down 3 possessions with only 1 quarter here to play. So we'll see what Snow College has to do. They do the draw to Delhi. Delhi has some room to run, and he goes ahead for about 10 yards. Gets a first down and makes Snow's way into Air Force territory, but there is a flag down on the play.
Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 58.
Oh, that one's going to be coming back. It is a holding. That one being called on number 58, Jed Heffernan. Jed Heffernan, a freshman out of Hawaii. Freshman playing here for Snow College. So that leads Snow in the second down situation, 2nd and 10. Miller's pass is complete for a couple of yards out to Simone.
Pushed out of bounds by 22, Tristan Johnston.
Miller lines up shotgun, 3rd and 8. Air Force needing a stop right here. Miller has been filling it all night, and he fumbles it. He's sacked, fumbled, gets the ball back. But that's going to force Air Force to, that's going to force the Badgers to punt. That was number 98 for Air Force, Parker Workman, another Utah native out of South Jordan, forces that punt, that fumble, and eventually sacks. So 13 minutes left to play here in the game. Snow fakes it. He's got some room to run. Escapes the first defender. Now he's going to punt it. Oh my goodness, what is going on? It's fielded at the 50-yard line and brought up to the 40.
Wow.
What a play. I'm not sure. I think was he across the line of scrimmage when he punted that, Ben?
If it is, that's going to be a terrible penalty against the Badgers, setting up the Huskies in great field position to get themselves back in this game. I'm not sure why they went for the fake. I don't know why they just didn't punt it down the field and pin the Huskies deep in their own territory. The way that their defense has been playing all day today, it would have been very difficult for the Huskies to move the ball downfield and to potentially get a field goal or a touchdown. I'm not too sure I support that play call.
Yeah, here's my question for you. Do you think that was the play call from the coaches, that they wanted him to run it? Or do you think he just kind of took that one into his own hands?
I'm not sure. All day, the kicker, the special teams for the Badgers is more of a rugby-style kick, and that's what they were showing as he rolled to his right. But then he saw the pressure, and so I think he decided to take it to the left.
The ball was kicked beyond the line of scrimmage. That's a 5-yard penalty for spot foul.
Yep, so the refs are saying he kicked the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. And so that's going to add another 5 yards.
So not sure if that was a play call to go for the fake or just from the pressure from the Huskies on the punter and he rolled to his left, But whatever it was just a blown up play from the get-go in the backfield and sent a great shot for the Husky offense to get themselves back into this ball game.
Panizzalo, that was the punter on the play, so now the ball back in Air Force's hands as we see Simeon Page back in the game. Rushes it up to about the 29-yard line, so no, excuse me, the 24-yard line. Second down and 8, 12:30 on the clock. Hammond had an open man, but just overshoots him. We've been seeing that play all afternoon long as Luke Miller was open if he just could hit him in the numbers.
So an obvious passing situation for the Huskies on a 3rd down and 8 deep in Badger territory after that miscommunication blown up play by the special teams.
Hammond looking left, throws, he's hit as he throws, and that one nearly intercepted by the Badgers. That was Caden Connor Madison. Ball bounces right off his hands. It's 4th and 8, and there's a Air Force player down on the field.
I believe that's Hammond, Jacob.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ben. He was hit as he was throwing the ball, so he looks like he's in pain. So we most likely going to see a backup quarterback come into this game here in the 4th quarter, down by 10. But while we talk about that, in the meanwhile, they're facing a 4th and 8 here. Ball's at about the 24-yard line. I guess the question becomes, how confident are you in your kicker, right?
Lining up right now with the ball spotted about on the 24-yard line, you're looking at a 35, maybe 40-yard field goal. I'm not sure how long their kicker, how long his kick, his range. Thank you. I'm not sure how far his range is for the Huskies kicker, but like you said, how confident are you in the kicker, or do you go for it on 4th down?
And they're bringing the kicker out. He's looked good thus far. It's Jared Porter, the Redlands, California native, so he's going to kick this one from about the 31-yard line. This would bring it back within a 1-possession ball game. Huge kick here from Porter. Porter puts it up. It's a knuckleball, and it is no good. It veers off to the left. And there's another Air Force player down on the ground. This time, it's Ty Smith, one of the guards for Air Force. And so Stowe College will have the ball when we return. We're going to take a quick break. 12:14 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Snow up by 10. So here we return. Back to play, 12-14 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Ty Smith walks off the field, and the Badger offense takes the field, looking to put an end to Air Force's hopes of a comeback here, but I think Miller might have fumbled the ball off the snap.
And that's a mistake that you do not want to commit. Fumbling the ball or turning the ball over with an interception deep in your own territory and setting up good field position for the Huskies. So the Badgers need to control the clock, chew up a lot of game clock by controlling this possession, but holding on to the football most importantly.
Second down and 11. Miller almost gets caught off the handoff as the linebackers for Air Force, they're on the blitz, almost got to the quarterback before he could even hand the ball off. So coming through the line untouched, but they do get the ball handed off, and another loss. Loss of 3 yards. It's now 3rd and 14. Miller's going to line up in shotgun here. Deli to his right. He's got trips wide receivers right. A little screen play. And he is cut down at the 19-yard line. Was Simpson on the catch. So that's going to force a punt. So just what Air Force needed there. Quick 3 and out, forcing Snow to punt deep in their own territory.
Well, the Huskies are still in this game, still down by 10. They'll be getting the ball back with around 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They still have a shot. It's still a lot of time left in this game, but their offense has got to do something now on this drive. They got to put together a drive and at least get some points, either a field goal or a touchdown on this drive to have hopes to have this comeback in this game this afternoon.
So this time it was just a clean punt. Nothing more, no trickery there. And so Leviston calls the fair catch, and Air Force is going to have the ball in decent field position here, starting at their own 37-yard line. So we're seeing Henny in at quarterback. The man who has been taking all the kickoff returns now comes in as the backup quarterback. Simeon Page, though, on the rush, gets 4 yards for the Huskies.
With Henny now in as quarterback, that puts a little bit more defensive strategy to the Badger D. Now having to have a man account for Henny, as we know he has wheels and can take it to the house at any time.
You got to keep him contained. That's got to be your focus. Henny hands it off, and another fumble. And it is Snow College football.
Unless you do that.
So Connor Taylor recovers it for Snow College, and Air Force turns the ball right over, having struggles here in this second half to keep their hands on the ball and keep that ball secured.
So the Husky D has been doing their part all afternoon, Jacob. They've been playing their hearts out, forcing the Badgers to punt the ball in the most important times of this game. But the Husky offense has really not come through for their defense this afternoon, as they fumbled the ball on the past 2 out of 3 possessions.
And I think a lot of that could do with the backup quarterback Henny coming in as running the option, that read option that they were trying to run with him. A lot has to deal with timing and the feel, and the running back and the quarterback weren't on the same page there with that play, as Henny decided to hand it off, but the running back was not ready for it. So second down and 8 now for Snow College. 9 minutes left to play. Time starting to become a real factor and problem for the Air Force. Miller looks deep. He's got a man wide open in the middle. Unaccounted for. Touchdown, Snow College. And I think that will just about seal the game for Snow as Emerson Woods brings in that catch.
Emerson Woods for a touchdown.
And that extends the lead 40-24. This to make it a 17-point ball game. Kick is up and is good for Austin Pulver. 8:42 left to play. Snow College extending their lead out to 17 here this afternoon. We're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere because Air Force has brought back 2 kick returns. So could there be a third? We'll find out in just a minute. All right. Welcome back here in Ephraim as Snow College is set to kick it off. An interesting note here, Penny is not on the kick return team, Ben. He is on the sideline. So Snow goes for the onside kick and they recover it. I think the kicker got his own kick, and that is how it goes. Snow College football. So they're able to catch Air Force napping on the play. And it almost looked like to me, Ben, that Air Force was lining up for the onside recovery. They had lots, I'd say they only had like 4 men back to return, and everyone else was near the line.
Just know everybody on the front line just turned their backs as the kicker was approaching, and nobody accounted for the onside kick. And like you said, Jacob, the Badgers catch the Huskies snapping, and now comes the Badger offense again, looking to seal the deal with 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this game.
Britt Mon never afraid to go aggressive and call that onside kick, as we've seen throughout this season. Miller, play action pass. Someone's helmet came off, and Simone trying to reach over the top of the defender to bring in the pass, but not able to reel it in, which is going to make a 2nd down and 10.
Broken up by number 28. Spencer Kapawanga.
Clock down to 8.5 minutes. Now the handoff goes to Deli, and Deli is wrapped up. Looks like he's going to lose a couple yards on the play.
Shot Deli brought down by number 45, Ben Bollinger. Brings up 3rd down.
So 3rd and the scoreboard's saying 17, but I think they're a little bit off. Yeah, now it's back to normal. 3rd and 12. Under 8 minutes here in the 4th quarter. Miller finds a man for a gain of about 5 yards, but not enough for a 1st down. Found Malik Overstreet. And so that brings up 4th down, but the positive thing about that play, Ben, if you're Snow College, is he went down before the defender was able to push him out of bounds. So the clock keeps ticking.
And once again, the Husky defense proves that they can stop this Badger offense yet again in the fourth quarter. But the Husky offense has failed to convert and give their defense some support.
And there's the punt. It rolls out of bounds. Inside of the 20, they're going to mark it at the 15-yard line. So the Husky offense finding a very daunting task ahead of them, down by 17 points and only 7 minutes to try to make up for this and force overtime. Henny in his quarterback, starting quarterback DJ Hammond still on the sideline with his injury. Henny looks to pass, but you know, he's taken down a couple yards. I think that may call that a sack. Loss of 3 on the play. You know, the offense looked like it was a passing play, but I think that was designed quarterback draw. So the D-line for Snow not letting him get anywhere, and now we're at 6.5 minutes left to play. And he looks left. And his pass falls incomplete to Leonard Leviston. Leonard Leviston III out of Oklahoma City. Third and 12. Henny hit as he throws, and there's some contact on the play with the wideout and the D-back, but no flag is called, so that makes it 4th and 12.
And it appears that the Husky offense is staying on the field. I mean, oh, never mind. The special teams is coming out the field to boot it away.
So, Air Force can all but just hope for a miracle now, as they're going to be punting the ball, giving it back into the hands of the Badgers. And Arbin, Jance Arbin with the return. He makes the first man miss. He might have some room to run here. He's out to the 40, the 35, and he's pushed out of bounds inside of the 30. Jance bringing it close. They're going to mark him at the 28-yard line with a nice return by Arbin. 6 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock. And Snow College in great field position, looking to extend this lead even further and really put the nail in the coffin with any points scored here. Late substitution coming in for Snow. Campbell. Now running the other way was Brian Waiters over to the right side. And a late flag comes flying in.
Brian Waiters with the pitch, brought down by Ben Bollinger. Officials timeout.
Ben Bollinger with the tackle there for Air Force. Officials talk over the penalty on the play.
Red ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, 89 on the offense.
They're going to call a late hit on the offense. So a personal foul. I didn't see it. Is that 89 they said, Ben?
Yeah, I believe that's Jones.
Yeah, that's Brandon Jones getting called for the late hit.
Well, as a coach for any team, especially for the Badgers right now, you want great confidence in your backs right now. Just hand the ball off to them and just have them take you to victory at the end of this game. And that's exactly what they'll do.
Shaq Deli. Hard hit at the end as he collided with Barton Lester, the safety.
Nice hold. Brought down by number 98, Parker Workman. Brings up third down.
As the clock ticks down to 5.5 minutes now left to play. 3rd and long, though, for Snow. A 3rd and 18. We'll see what Snow does. The middle of the field has been open deep all game long. Maybe they'll look that way again, but no, they go conservative with Shaq Deli running to the left side. Deli falls down at just about the 30-yard line, so that's going to create a 4th down and about 11, 12 yards to go.
Brought down by Corey Johnson. Brings up 4th down.
And so, Jacob, it appears that the Badgers will keep their offensive unit out on the field on this 4th down and 11 underneath 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game.
And the pass is incomplete. They go for it on the 4th down, and they're going to say that Alex Coyell was out of bounds, not able to get a foot in, and so a turnover on downs. 4 minutes, 23 seconds left for this Air Force offense to try to work something up. Now, it seemed as though, Ben, it seemed that Air Force was kind of sort of getting into a little bit of a rhythm with Hammond there before he got hurt on the play, and Henny, the backup quarterback, Henny. And ever since Henny has entered into the game, the rhythm has not been there. We saw the last possession end in a fumble.
It really, ever since those 2 fumbles committed by the Huskies, has really just swung to the Badgers' momentum as they were able to convert on those 2 fumbles.
And another fumble as Henny got hit as he tried to throw the little screen pass, but Air Force falls on. Will stay with, creating a 2nd and 15. Once again, that Snow College defensive front harassing the quarterback all afternoon long, and I think if there's anybody to give credit to for this outstanding defensive performance, is blowing through the offensive line of Air Force.
Back to the original line of scrimmage with an extra yard. Offense late into the 4th quarter, just underneath 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Henny in the gun. Drop back, looking to his left, and he'll step up and run. He'll tuck it, he'll go, but he will be tackled just short of the 1st down marker, setting up 4th down and 3.
Brought down by Beaver 14. 4th and 5.
So he will be just short of the 1st down marker, 4th down and 5 for the Husky offense, and they will stay on the field. Trips right for Henny, and go for it, Jacob. Why not? Just under 3 minutes left to play in this game. Get your offense a little bit more practice. And it's a fumble on the snap, and Henny will just drop on it, and it will be a turnover on downs, and out comes the Badger offense again to potentially close out the remainder of this game. And so, Jacob, there's been a lot of miscommunication late in the 2nd half between Henny and his center, especially when Heyman went down with his injury, and Henny and his center just haven't been able to get on the same page throughout the second half here. And how comes the Badger offense to close out the remainder of this game today? So Miller on a gun as he hands it off to Delia. And he's
Ball carrier, brought down by number 5, Prince Njoku.
So number 5, Prince Njoku in on the tap for the Huskies as the clock continues to wind. Just 2 minutes remaining in this game this afternoon. So the Badgers in no hurry to line up offensively on the ball, just coming out of their huddle, and they're going to chew up as much of this game clock as possible, as they pretty much have this game in the bag, and as they actually do have the game in the bag. Miller puts his man in motion and coming across. Miller will hand the ball off to Dell as he breaks up off the cross side, and he will go across the 20 tackle down at the 15-yard line. In this game afternoon, and again the Badgers chewing up as much game clock as possible with the play clock. Talking the play over in the huddle as they come out of the huddle, as Miller commands and leads his offensive team to victory with a minute left in today's ball game.
Wow, what a game.
Daly will take the handoff from Miller as he goes up the left side as he is stuck just across the line of scrimmage. And just with 1 minute remaining in this ball game, today's victory will be going to the Badgers of Snow College. But tip your hat off, Jacob, to the Huskies as they play their hearts out throughout the course of this game, especially the defense. Their defense put their heart and soul into this game this afternoon, forcing the Badgers to punt it many times throughout the course of this game. But the Husky offense could really never connect throughout the course of this game, especially in the second half, and it's what's resulted in the Badgers' victory this afternoon. Just under 30 seconds left in this game as Miller's on the gun, and he will hand it off to Deli, which will bring the Badgers to victory in today's afternoon as Deli takes the handoff, and that will be the last play of the game, and the clock will wind down, and 10 seconds left to go, and the Badgers will just let the clock wind out, and the Badgers will win today's game. Jacob, Badgers 41, Huskies 24.
And
on both sides of the game. Credit to the Huskies for playing their hearts out this afternoon. Just really could never find connection offensively. But credit to the Badgers this afternoon. They came out, they saw, they conquered, and they walked out of this game with a victory. Thank you folks all over the nation, all over YouTube subscribing to us. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast of Snow TV between the Badgers of Snow College and the Huskies of Air Force Prep. Today's victors go to the Badgers as they win 41-24. Thank you, and we will see you again on Snow TV.